Bella, and today I'm going to do some art review and we're going to do pop art. Pop art is a really exciting art movement that uses lots of really bright colours, bold lines, shadows and objects from everyday life. So now that you're at home, we can look at objects near you and choose something exciting to draw. All you need for this class is a piece of paper, some colour pencils and a felt tip pen. But if you don't have a felt tip pen, that doesn't matter. Here are a few images I found on the internet to demonstrate to you what pop art is and what it can look like. Sometimes when I'm doing art, I never know what to draw. I've chosen one of my dad's model cars. I didn't know what to draw, so I just looked for something around the house, and I'm sure you'll have lots of objects in your house too. It could be a tin of food from the cupboard, or your laptop, or even just an ornament around the house, or your favourite toy, or your favourite makeup item. Literally can be anything. So what we're going to start to do is we're just going to draw the outline. It doesn't need to be perfect. For me, I just got pencil from around the house and I just drew this car. It's not exactly in proportion. I've made it a little bit more squashed for a cartoon effect. Okay, so I've got my outline of the car and I want to make this stand out and be more dramatic, like a pop-up poster. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a big banner of diagonal lines to create some drama and speed. By making the diagonals triangles a little bit smaller at the back, makes it look faster and creates an illusion of speed, and bigger at the front. So already, just with a few lines, we've made it quite big and it looks faster already. I'm now going to add some detail to the car. I'm going to add some spots. If you Google pop art, especially Roy Lichtenstein, who is one of my favourite pop artists, you will see that they use lots of dots in their artwork. And maybe we want some reflection on the windows as well. We can do this just by creating random lines. You don't need to worry too much about the direction of them because we can colour them in later. So do a big wavy line there. And that creates a type of reflection of whatever we're looking at. Right, I've still got all of this outside space. We could just colour it one colour, like a dark blue, and just leave it, but I always think that with pop art you should create as much fun as possible, so I'm going to create some more random shapes. You don't need to worry too much about what you're putting where. The fun of pop art is that you just make whatever you want. There we go. So what we have is a drawing of a car, which was just a random item I found in my house. We drew it, we then drew some patterns around the edge, and we've created lots of different patterns on the paper, creating an interesting design. So that wasn't very difficult. It's just about using your imagination and not worrying about how it looks, but more about the fun you're having creating. So depending what you've got around the house, you could put some paint or watercolour on this and just use your brush to create thick paint or small detailed paints. But for me, I don't have paints in the house. I have some thick colour pencils and a mixture of felt tips and pencils. Just things I found looking in my cupboards. For me, I love my chunky pencils, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start colour this in now and really make it stand out. So you can do this at home too. Another thing I love about pop art is because it's full of fun and colour, you don't have to make your item that you've chosen look realistic. So this car here, it's all blue. But it doesn't mean I have to colour my picture all blue. I'm going to make it more exciting. As you can see, I've added green here because I think it's more exciting to add lots of different colours to my picture. It's up to you what you want to do. When you're making art, you can just put colours anywhere, but sometimes you might want to think about shading or tone and shadow. So with a light colour, that resembles something that is bright and light. What you can do, which is what I've done with the window here, is do a two-tone image where you do a lighter colour on the top and a slightly darker colour on the bottom. So I've got a light blue and a dark blue. What this does is it just gives a little bit of tone and depth to your picture. I think when I get further along this colouring, I'm going to do the big zigzaggy box I've drawn orange, as it's sort of fast and extreme. It's like you're going so fast, all the colours are bright. So another thing I can think about is how the orange might reflect on the glass of the front of the car. So I'm going to do this middle part orange, as when this part is orange, it will almost be like a reflection. Remember with pencils as well, you can change how the crayon appears on your page. With this part of the car, I've pressed it really lightly and it's come out as a lighter dark blue. With this crayon, I'm pressing really hard. It's the same crayon. I'm pressing so hard and it's coming out much darker on my page. So we can really see with all of these colours that I've chosen to make my car, it feels like and it looks like the car is starting to bounce off the page. It doesn't look very flat anymore. It looks really alive. And the orange might reflect off the back of the window as well. So let's do the middle part orange. And similar colours to orange are red and yellow. So let's add some red and yellow. But we also need to remember that this is a window and most windows show up as blue. So we'll just add a little bit of blue there as well. For the top of the car, I've got my dot designs, the little circles I've drawn. So I think they would look nice as red as well. So let's get those coloured in. My Roy Lichtenstein red spots that I like. I know in England we love pop art and lots of our art galleries have pop art paintings in them. So we have the Tate Modern that in London, and that has loads of fantastic art. If you've been on a Discovery Summer school trip with us, then you've probably been to the Tate Modern on one of the trips. And if you haven't, then it's something to add to your to-do list next time you're in England. Okay, so as you can see, I've finished colouring in my car and all of the surrounding areas. I've made it big and bright and really interesting to look at, all just with some colouring pencils that I found at home. So we could finish here, that could be the end, but there's so many interesting lines and zigzags and detail. I always think it's nice with pop art to outline it. So I've got here a felt tip pen that I found, and I'm going to draw around all of the edges to create that dramatic shadow that they use, that pop art artists use in their drawings. Ideally, I would have liked to have used black to outline, but I could only find this dark blue. So I'm going to use dark blue and just draw around it. And then you'll see from now to when I finish, it will look really fantastic and much more detailed. So let's finish. So as you can see, I'm just drawing around every shape and line that I have created. If you don't have a felt tip pen at home, you could always use any type of pen that has a bit of ink in. So maybe someone in your house has an ink pen or a biro, lots of different type of pens that you could try. And if you don't have a felt tip pen or anything with ink, then don't worry. Just leave your drawing as it is, or you could use a black pencil, a black colouring pencil to try and draw around the outlines to make it a bit darker. This is just an optional extra. Alright, so that's our car outlined. That looks pretty cool, I think. So let's finish this off now. And there we have it. Here is my pop art image that I have made. As you can see from watching this video, it wasn't very difficult. We took a bit longer at the start to draw the image, which I'd made before you joined. So I showed you the car I'd drawn, and then together we've coloured it and outlined it with a pen. And to me, that says pop art. A drawing can always be added to, even when it's finished. So I could even think of more things to do now. Although actually I can see I've forgotten to draw these lines here. So first of all, I will draw around these circles that I missed. I didn't see those. There we go. And now I think that's everything outlined. But what I could still do, if you do look at artists such as Roy Lichtenstein, we love the dots, they love the dots. So I'm just going to add some more dots to my car to make it have a bit more tone and shadow. You could even draw some dramatic stripes like this. And little by little, you're just adding more texture, more things to look at, and making it very personal and unique to you. There we go. So I like how I've added those extra bits. I might just add some stripes here. There we go. I'm really happy with that. So I hope you enjoyed our pop art class today. I really enjoyed making something new and hope you find some exciting things to draw at home. Just look around you and I'm sure you'll find inspiration. Remember to use bright colours and lots of imagination. Patterns are really good to use and we're really excited to see what you make.